So I can officially confirm to you that Forest have qualified for the next stage of the Europa League. But I'd be lying if I said it didn't feel a bit like Wolves last night. Welcome to my match reaction. Hi guys, hope you're doing well and welcome to Utrecht 1 Forest 2. Coming up, I'm going to talk you through some key takeaway points. There are some really good things and there are some really bad things that we do need to discuss. So please make sure you've hit the like button. Make sure you've subscribed as well if you're new to Forest Fan TV. I think Grubby Old Reds will be at 7 p.m. tonight, so make sure you tune in for that. The return of Ant will be tonight, I think. And check out the merch store, The Greek Father. Oh, move that mic. I love this t-shirt. By the way, get in the comments. Where is he? I haven't seen him at any games in ages. Where is the Greek Father? You just need to go scan the QR code or click on the link that's pinned in the comments. Okay, let's jump into this. Look, I want to start with some major positives. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I went into that game thinking, it's Utrecht. We're going to struggle to break them down. Oh, we're not very good against teams where we should be good against. And that was my worry. But then I got to say, Sean Dyche's presser before the game is what got my spirits back up. When he was talking about Backwell, when he was talking about Douglas Luiz, when he was talking about Zinchenko. No, I'm not going that far. But hearing those players being back, I was like, okay. Suddenly I've forgotten about this guy, Douglas Luiz, and how good he was and how good he is. If he can just stay fit, this guy is a player. Now, I do want to see that midfield. I want to see him with Elliot Anderson, with Sangare. I think the chemistry there would be fantastic if we went like a 4-3-3. I don't know what you do on the wings. I'd probably put Morgan Gibbs-White on the wings, to be honest, with how bad our wingers have been. But Douglas Luiz for me yesterday was brilliant. 45 minutes under the belt. Look, it wasn't a perfect performance. No one ever really gives you a perfect 10.10 out of 10. But I thought he was brilliant and dictated that first half and was controlling it. A couple of stray passes here and there, but nothing that is overly concerning. What I liked was the football IQ mind is still sharp. The gameplay was still sharp, looking to progress the ball forward, looking for the ball. That's what I want from my midfielders. Players that are going to look for the ball. Him and Anderson really always do that. Now, my one concern about this Anderson-Douglas Luiz combo, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but it almost feels like they want to be in the same space. Now, obviously, they didn't play together at the same time, but if you look at it when Anderson came on, he was the one who then dropped in between the centre-backs, picked the ball up, started to dictating the play. Now, this could be a beautiful relationship, or they could end up falling over each other. It depends on how disciplined they are. But if you can imagine now, maybe one of them holds the 6 for like 5-10 minutes, or in that attack or in that build up, then they switch over. That makes it even more difficult for opponents to know who to cover. Do they go with Luiz? Do they chase Anderson? And so on. I'm getting ahead of myself here because this would be lovely tactics to see, but I can see those two doing it. It's a massive positive for me on Douglas Luiz. Now on Callum Mwendo, good to see him scoring. I felt he was hiding in the first half and I felt it just wasn't involved. Forest weren't really getting the ball to him. And then he kind of just grabbed the ball, little shimmy. Yes, it came back off his chest, but he kind of earned that bit of luck and then bang, finishes it. Can he kick on? This is my question to you guys. What do you think? Can he kick on? And can we start to see that confidence, that player that I was seeing last year in the French league, banging in 16, 17 goals? Can he bring that to the Premier League? Still not scored in the Premier League. To be fair to him, most of his minutes have been coming in the Europa League or the League Cup earlier on when, let's not talk about that Swansea game. But I say this, I know people will say, oh, French League, Farmers League, Bundesliga, Farmers League. I still think it's about technique. If you've got that technique, that eye for goal, you can score goals. Now, is his physicality going to be strong enough? I felt there was a huge difference when Jesus came on. Jesus looks like he's adapted to the kind of life in Forest, in the Premier League. He looks like he's throwing himself about, looks strong, holding off defenders. Yes, okay, that was against European opposition, but I've been seeing that in the Premier League as well. I still think Jesus is ahead of Callum Mwendo, but I'm not quite writing him off, even though I kind of think I did at half time. So good positive signs there from Callum Mwendo. Now, I want to do a video where we don't talk about Dan N'Doye. It can't be this one then. Because, and I'm not going to go in on him. Look, you guys all know how I feel about him. I actually feel sorry for him now. The only point I want to make is that his confidence is low. He's very weak on the ball. And he's struggling to get involved too much in the attack. In fact, he seems to be the best defender for the opposition team. This is now not on Dan N'Doye. Dan N'Doye should have been dropped about 3 or 4 games ago. And he's still finding a way into the team. This now becomes the responsibility of Sean Dyche. It's up to Sean Dyche even, to see what I've been seeing. And I think what you guys are seeing. I think in general, the general consensus of the Forest fan base is that N'Doye needs to be dropped. Now, was he used yesterday because we have a lack of wingers? Bakwa still isn't fully back and fit. No pun intended there. You saw Callum Hudson-Odoi looking better yesterday. But then outside of that, you can't play Hutchinson. So who else is there? Excuse me. So I think he won't start the Spurs game. This whole, he's better defensively and that's why Dyche likes him. I just think the minutes he got yesterday, it shocked me that he came out for the second half. And therefore, the only logical explanation I can think of is he's going to get hooked for the Spurs game. Now, what will that mean? I think it will mean Hutchinson on the right and then Callum Hudson-Odoi on the left and then maybe Bakwa in the second half. I don't think we're going to see that dream combo of Bakwa and Hutchinson playing, but it will come. It will come in time. So, look, I think that's what it is. If he does start the Spurs game, then I am going to lose my crap on it because he is completely and utterly out of form. The form guy, though, for me is this guy. Comes on, authoritative, 4 minutes to go. Jesus comes on, saves the day. And Forest have qualified for the Europa League next stage. Now, I think it's going to be about 13 or 14 points for Forest to get that automatic 8 position slot. And I think it's important that we do that because you don't want to add 2 extra games into the calendar. That's the issue with this. So I think when we come to playing Braga and that team that I can't say we got to win one of those games. We're on 11 points now. 1 win takes us to 14. Now Braga's away first, I think. I don't want to leave it to the last game. Let's get it done away to Braga. They did draw, if I'm not mistaken, with Glasgow Rangers, who have been crap in the Europa League. So they are, penetrable. Now, what I will say is if you look at the Europa League table, you've got Braga, you've got Betis, you've also got Porto, and you've got Midtjylland. 5 of those teams are the teams that Forest have played. And those 5 teams are all in the top 8. Forest have had a pretty stinky draw when you look at it now. And to say we're kind of coming out of it on top here, I think Forest have won 2 or 3 of the last games, drawn 1 as well, undefeated in 4. The last one we lost was against Midtjylland. The rest we've either picked up 3 or a draw. And you think if that Sturm Graz penalty goes in, Forest is sitting comfortably right now on 13 points. Basically, 1 draw would guarantee us qualification. So I think we can beat Braga away. And the good thing is now is we can focus on the Premier League. This is why I was saying that match yesterday was extremely important. Get the win, get the Europa League put on the back burner until we have to play Braga. And now we can look forward and focus on Spurs. And you know what? With Douglas Luiz back, with Bakwa as an option, with Hutchinson being available in the Premier League, with Igor Jesus feeling confident, with Murillo plays and I feel like a different person. That's how good Murillo is right now. Now let's hope that he's over this virus, he's fully fit, can come in and we'll go Nico Williams, Murillo, Milenkovic and Ola Aina soon to be returned because, I don't know if it's breaking news for you, but maybe you guys don't know, he was not called up to the Nigeria squad. So he will be available to come back to Forest. Now remember, Forest deregistered him because of his injury, so he will be available. He won't be available to play again until January when the re-registration opens. Okay, so it's not that long away now, but he's staying with Forest. So good news on that front as well. So that brings you my thoughts up to date with some general Forest news there as well. Let me know your thoughts on it all. Did it feel a little Wolvesy yesterday? Are we going to go into the next game a bit blind like we did against Brighton? Or do you think I'm over-analysing the game, which I probably am anyway? So get your thoughts in the comments below. We'll be back for Grumpy Old Reds tonight at 7. Please do make sure you've hit the like button. Make sure you've subscribed. Go check out the merch store. Code FFTV for 15% off. And we'll see you tonight. Come on, you Reds.